This is a song that shows us how much minutia can be there in just a few notes together, how much detail and nuance great player like Slash can put on and make the riff sound so rhythmic. So the first part of the riff, we're going to do straight downstrokes with palm muting, and we have a very light grip here that just touches this. And once we lift, I will lift just from this joint and a little bit from that one. It's a really small lift. The active muscles doing this are here on the back of my forearm. They're the extensor muscles. You relax, it falls back down. If I squeeze any to put it back on, any, I'm not even squeezing hard at all, it will play a note. And we want it sometimes we don't. When I'm doing the dead notes, I'm using these two fingertips. See that they're passing over the edge of the sixth string, even over the edge of the fretboard. If I turn backwards, you can see my fingertips behind the guitar neck. The beginning of that riff has lifted, and we have a downstroke on the E note, open string. Then we have only the middle finger, this time squeezing in. So all down. Then I'm going to lift my index finger and do a hammer on. On the right hand, that was not palm muted, that was lifted, and I'll turn around and you see how. See, I untouched the strings here, rotating the forearm. I have my palm kind of visible, and then I roll like this. And the palm that was touching lifts. So then I put it all back on. And when I do that, I do that trick and I play downstroke on the E string. That was a ghost note. I use two fingertips because if I use just one, sometimes I can get a little bit of a harmonic in there. So, and that's the beginning of the drill we're going to do. We're going to start with this palm muted, so 0 note residue, just the percussion of it. Then I'm going to lift this a little and lift my right hand and play up like this. From 0 note sound to 100. There's not even palm muting in there. It's just the note itself, open string up stroke. And then I put it back down just where it came from so I don't squeeze this. That's the challenge. 0, 100, 0 again. So slower. This lift is not the same as I did with the downstroke. That one was turning my arm that way. This one I'm lifting from my biceps like this. I pull it up, not a lot, just a little, just to untouch the string. So my forearm comes up a little bit. See how it does this instead of this. Different. So it's a different kind of lift. So I don't have to squeeze it down. If I squeeze down, I'll hear a note at the end. I want it dead. This sound. Not this. Very different. Back to our drill. Now here we go. We have 2 more notes to do here after those 3. I am going to play my upstroke with the palm muting and do this again. Then I have a palm muted E string instead of, I have this. Palm muted E instead of open E. Very different. I'm going to name that when I have the open string but Paul muted, I'm going to have 60% sound instead of open string being 100. So 0 down, 100 up, 0 down, 60 up. In the song, what happens is I squeeze my middle finger and I have 60 down on the middle finger, 2nd fret. So 0, 100, 0 again, 60, 60. All together. And eventually it's going to start speeding itself up because you know it. So it gets kind of boring. You start playing a little bit faster. I'm over exaggerating the split and the difference here. There's this, and there's this. And there it is. And eventually it gets fast. Now putting this back in the sequence. Then I engage the rest of it. No Paul muting. 2 hammer-ons on the 1st fret on the A string. And then it starts again. When you speed this up, the separation is going to get a little smaller, and that's fine. Once I looked at it, I made a mistake. So it's better to not look.